And we are back at it like Torah addicts out of rehab. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Let me uncover my head. Y'all brought coming about your check out Shai. Shalom, Yasharallah. All right, so it's your brother Isaiah Yasharallah, also known as Charawatazaya Yasharallah, also known as Crumworm the Hebrew. Call me what you want. Just don't call me a brother that teach you to break the Torah. All right. I'll be offended. I'll be like, whoa, wait, whoa, whoa. That guy Isaiah, he's a good Jew boy. He's a good Jew boy. I think that's what some people might say. All right, so let's do it real quick. I would like to first address this real quick. There was a video that was done yesterday. Now, this is not me right now. This is this video over here. This video is yesterday. All right. It was Hebrew 101. Hebrew 101. And the subject matter is that the earth is not flat. That's one. The firmament, we talked about that, it being a sphere. And we also spoke about the atmosphere. We talked about the word in Hebrew being chawag. Okay, chawag. All right, so that was something that we brought up. All right, so this video, you can find this right here on my Isaiah Yasharallah YouTube. All right, I'm gonna go to it, go to my channel. All right, Isaiah Yasharallah YouTube. All right, we see we have a mere humble 741 subscribers and 771 videos. Wow, that's not, okay, all praise. And the thing about it is, I don't buy bots. I'm honest. I'm sincere. I'm a genuine teacher. All right, I don't buy views and I don't do extra things to try to get people to get my attention. You know, at least for the sake of just getting a Facebook or likes or clicks. I just like to tell the truth. It is what it is. All right. So let's go ahead and get started on this. And I'm going to give a salute to everybody that's coming in. We're going to start it with, we got to do some Nagayana. All right. We got to do some Taza Nagayana. All right. So we're going to get started with some righteous music. All right. And one of my favorite songs, man. One of my favorite songs. What's one of my favorite songs? It's got to be an Israelite song. All right. Because usually, and let me say this before we get started, we don't own any of the rights to any of the music, none of that stuff, any of the videos. We own the right. We do not own the rights to. We are only playing these videos for educational purposes, and I hope YouTube doesn't flag us. Anybody's videos, I try to share the links to in hopes to promote others to go to their pages. All right, to either listen to their music or to get education from the same videos that I share. All right, so today we're gonna do. All right, we did Kevin Yazzie yesterday. All right, but today we're gonna do Bateman Brothers. Now, Bateman Brothers is one of my favorite albums. It's for me, it's a study album. It's very calming. All right, these guys, they play all kind of live instruments, and it's just really amazing the way that they do their music, because you wouldn't think, or excuse me, you wouldn't think, or you wouldn't suspect that all of these sounds from these different instruments would make such a beautiful, harmonious melody together, but they really do. They really do. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. And shalom to everybody that's watching now. Shalom to everybody that's gonna be watching later. All right. So we're gonna pull up some imagery, and from our imagery, we are going to get the people a chance to, as they say, as one of my old friends would say, climb on in here. All right, y'all climb on in here. All right, so we're going to start with what's called the Astronomer's Library. All right, and it's just, like I said, it's just a really cool visual. I like it. And we're going to give people a chance to come in as we send out this video. All right, so let's get started on that. And we're going to turn the volume up just a little bit. All right. And for those who are interested, this album is by the Bayman brothers. I really want to see their views go up. I really want to see the acknowledgement of the music that they presented to the world. I really want to see it go up because it's beautiful music. Very beautiful. All right. Call it what you want. For me, it's great study music. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and post this here. And for anybody that would like to see it or listen, there's the link right there. All right. There's the link right there. All right. So I hope you all enjoy that. Let's get back to this Astronomer's Library. Shalom, shalom, shalom. It is official. We are at it. We are back at it. And if you can hear me okay, put a 7 in here. All right. Tawada, thank you for your support. Thank you for showing in and showing out. I'm going to get started soon right here from my phone and going down my list and sharing this out. And the reason being, let me turn this down a little bit. And the reason being is because we've had some Yasha Alim. If you can hear me okay, put a 7 in the room. All right, put a 7 in the room if you can hear me okay. We've had some Yasha Alim, some Israelites and Hebrews who have been making questions and statements about basic geometry and things that we all should know and things that, I'm still learning. All right, so I'm definitely not the end all be all of any of this. That would be only to our power, our God and our Savior, Yahweh Bahasham HaMashiach Kawshak. All right. So I'm going to share this out. And if you don't mind, we're going to get started in just a moment. All right. If you caught last night's video, put a 7 in the room. If you caught last night's video, put a 7 in the room. All right. Last night's video, what we did was we presented not only, okay, Thawada, we presented not only information on the shape of the spherical Earth, but we also showed astronomical information. And today, that's what we're going to be doing again. We're going to be showing astronomical information. All right. So let's pull some of that up. I want you all to see the tabs. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to be going through my Facebook. And through my Facebook, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some of the communication or conversations. All right. So I got to go through my Facebook, and I hope you all don't mind going through my Facebook with me. I invite you to. All right. So I invite you to. So let's go through it. All right. All right. Okay. So one of the things that I had going on was there was some communication about what we're talking about right now, astronomy. All right, let's go ahead and accept that. All right. And let's go ahead and paste this. Okay, if I can find it. All right. Man, I apologize, y'all. I can't see like I used to. That's so funny, man. All right. And yes, I do have my glasses. I should put them on. All right, but right now I don't have them with me. All right. So we're going to continue and get started on this. All right. All right. So if you've seen yesterday's video, what we did was we not only went through those specific subjects, but we answered the questions from a biblical standpoint. Not only a biblical standpoint, but a historical standpoint. Not only a historical standpoint, but from also an astronomical standpoint. And that's what I think is very important to do, is to answer questions. And I know we don't have all the answers, at all. But at least we can present information. We can show information to others to where they will say, oh, hey, I didn't know that. Okay, well, if you didn't know that, then guess what? There's so much more that we don't know. All right, so I still have my Facebook open. I got to work on getting my monetization. Facebook sent me a message about being monetized, and I thought that was pretty cool, But let's go to this real quick. Let's check out some of these comments. I don't like to, let's see. All right, Sister Julian Sharp. I didn't know that Sister Julian Sharp, she participates with the OASB book. Okay, the water. Comment on that. Pictures of bomb. Oh, man, I appreciate that. All praise the Most High. All right, Julian Sharp. All right. Live. This is dope. Oh, okay, the water Dayawam, all praise. Them my banana, them my baby, they Dayawam. All right. And then Charles. Okay. So, brother Charles, I hope you get this and see this. So, for those that's watching, we're going live through my YouTube, not my YouTube, my Facebook communication, thread. All right, and the reason being is because a few days ago we did a Hebrew astronomy 101, or yesterday, and I said join me on live now. Join me on live now. Right? Okay. So Dave Green and Yamir Yasharala, and we're gonna edit this so that they'll get a updated version of this. And the reason is, and I'm not, let me make this very clear. I am not in any way calling anybody out. That's not the objective. That's not what we're doing. But what we are doing is we're proving things. See, one of the things I don't like, which we all have things we don't like. One of the things I don't like is when somebody makes a comment like, I'm adding to or taking away from the word. All right. You are not under the laws of Torah anymore, though. I'm just gonna give the brother a sad little sad emoji. I'll come back to him on that because sometimes, and here goes something else, y'all. Don't get caught up in these emoji things. This is all psychological. All right. The emojis, these are psychological. I'll do all these emojis, and dude will hit me back, he'll hit me back with something that'll just keep the conversation going. All right. If I can use this tool to teach the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments, that's exactly what we're going to do. All right. So Kevin Roberts. All right. Salute to you, man. Kevin Kevin Roberts is a brother who, I don't necessarily know what's up with him, but for some reason he's like, I don't know if he's opposed, but the majority of the time when we have conversations about astronomy, Kevin Roberts usually says something the opposite of what I say. It's really weird. It's weird, but it's there. Here go the post that says hashtag flat lives matter, right? Like flat earth lives matter, right? Sorry, not sorry at all. My flat earth friends, family, this just popped in my head. All right. So we're going to go ahead and add this link to it. All right. Let's see. Nope, can't do that. Can't do that like that. All right, let's do it like this then. Let's take all this out and then just paste that right there. All right. All right. Matter of fact, let's discard that. Let's discard it. Okay, we're gonna do it over. Edit post. We're gonna take all that out, and then we're gonna paste. I meant to say that right there. All right. All right, let's go ahead and say that like that. All right. So again, salute to everybody that's rocking with us, that's building. If you're watching now, Baba Kusha, please make sure you share out for others to view, or for others to rock with on it. Rock with us on it. All right. All right. Let's go back to the Facebook. The Facebook words. Okay. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it for the communication. A few more messages. All right. And that's Kevin Roberts. So yeah, Kevin Roberts, we got a really weird relationship. Like, I don't know what's up with that, man. I don't know what's up with that. All right. So we on. All right. So okay. So you agree. So if you agree, let's go ahead and put you on here right now. All right. Paste. All right. So let's get it. I don't really know how this works. If this works like that. All right. So here we go. Dave Green. All right. So Dave Green says, I'm just going to like his comment. He says, the earth is built on a foundation. The earth is built on a foundation. It's flat with a dome top. Okay. So this is what we're looking at. This is what we're dealing with, these type of comments. Hey, Shalom Yasharallah, if you're watching, please share out. We're doing a live review through my own personal Facebook, which, I've always been an open door, just try to be honest, try to be, transparent. We all have, I ain't gonna say, I've never told a lie. I ain't about to say that, But I will say this, I will say this right here, as far as with this Yasha Alium walk, we try to be as genuine, as sincere, as edifying as possible. And if we see something, we're supposed to say something. That's really how it goes. All right. So what I do see is that there's a lot of Yashalim who are still learning, as we all are. And as Mazaquan, as my elder told me, 85, 90% of our problems will be resolved if we just read it in the language it was written in. So that's what we just did on yesterday's video. What we did was we went through, if you can hear me okay, put a 7 in the room. Baba Kushah, if you need me to turn the volume down. But okay, we got them 7s up in here. Okay, all praise, man. Hallelujah, man. Yahweh Shema Lathan. All praise. Yabarakam Yabashama Shaka Shai. Hallelujah. Shalom. Shalom. Salam. Salam. All praise. Hallelujah. So now let's get back to learning. All right. All right. So we have let me see. I'm gonna go to my Facebook real quick and I'm gonna post this. Oh, that's my baby. All right. And from my phone, I'm gonna post it because when I post it from my phone, I will be able to booyah, share out a lot easier. All right, so then I'm going to take this, and from here, I'm going to share this over into Messenger. Booyah. All right. Now I go through the very tedious task of tapping every single contact in my Facebook Messenger and sending out this personal notification, because this is how I genuinely reach people that are my friends on Facebook who sent me friend requests so I can make sure they are abreast of what we are currently teaching. This is genuinely how I do it. And we've been doing this for years. I haven't talked through it yet, but I'm doing this so we can kind of stall for time, but at the same time, get other people in here and also give you time to share out too. What? I'm sorry. We don't do commercials. We bougie. I'm sorry. We don't do commercials. Listen, the house is like, we don't do commercials. I don't know. Are we still on premium? Did they sneak a commercial in on us? How dare they? Okay, back to it. Okay, all right, back to it. All right. So yeah, so we're gonna get back to it. So yeah. So sending the information all the way down. Now, let me talk genuinely while I finish doing this until we get to the very last one. So if you still believe that the earth is flat and you watched yesterday's video, then I don't know what to tell you. I sincerely don't. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, then that's completely fine. The Most High's will, we'll have another opportunity, to continue and, and keep building and learning and growing together. But I will say this also, it's imperative for you to learn small details. If you learn small details, you can learn great details. All right. And that's just how I see it. My mama told me that readers are leaders. Some things I just never let go of. All right. Readers are leaders. All right, so let's get back to this. All right, so now we also got a brother who has been dramatically trying to get my attention for some reason on a specific subject. And I got to give glory to Yahweh because it's not my attention. It's the attention of the Lord. So he wants to talk. All right, so we're going to have a conversation about that. And it's going to have to come out. It's going to come up because some of this stuff just has to do with not only it has to do with the Bible, the nationality of our people, whether the Israel or the Negroes are actually related, blood related by vast amount. Because we know we have some Gentile blood mingled in within us, but it's primarily the seed of the Father who promotes, as the Bible says, who promotes who we are. So I'm going to have a talk about that too, brother. But for now, let's get to it. All right. For now, let's get to it. This is where we're going to start at. So we're in a book right now that's called Flavius Josephus, Wars of the Jews. And I hope that you can see it at the top of the screen. Now, yesterday we read a little bit on this pertaining to not only the constellations, but the menorah. Okay. Now, the menorah is so beautiful. And, those of us who know it looks like it's the 7-branch candlestick. I don't want to pull up a picture right now. But it says, now the 7 lamps signified the 7 planets, for so many were there springing out of the candlestick. And I love that. I just believe that's so amazing. And one of the reasons being is because a lot of us did not or do not know that the menorah is actually in astronomy. And it is. The menorah is a representation of astronomy. Hey, shalom to everybody that's rocking. Shalom to everybody that's watching. Welcome back. This is part 2. Yesterday, we did a video around the same time frame. We did a video on proving, according to Isaiah chapter 40, verse 22, that the earth is not flat. We broke down the word chawag. I accepted everybody's insults and jabs that they threw at me and all that cool stuff. But at the end of the day, they learned that the earth was not flat. They also learned yesterday that the word hemisphere means half of a sphere. Well, if it's half of a sphere, then there has to be an other half. So it's the northern hemisphere and the lower hemisphere. And if you take out the word hemi, which is half, then you just have the word sphere. We also looked at a book called Encyclopedia Britannica, which has a large section on astronomy and absolutely tells you by description the shape of the world, which in Hebrew is called Aratzah. We looked at the Hebrew words yesterday. And a lot of this does come from right here. If you all can see this, this is my Facebook page. This is my natural, genuine Facebook post, Isaiah Yasharallah. And this is the post that was brought up, and I'm going through my contacts. I'm going through my communication. I'm transparent as I can be. That's why I call my post Everyday Hebrews. For years, it's just Everyday Hebrews. This is what it is. Yasharallah. You see us Everyday Hebrews. So very genuine, open. So here's a post that we're looking at currently for this topic. And the reason being is because when we're looking at astronomy, this was yesterday. Well, that's today's video, excuse me. When we're looking at astronomy, a lot of Israelites do clickbait. All right. So let's come over here together. And we did the same thing yesterday. So please go check out the video yesterday. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I love the comments. I love the comments. I love the comments. And y'all know me. If you're rocking with me on Facebook, I'll put my video up there. I'll be like, well, the Bible says. So I actually, I don't be sitting there texting all day because, you get a lot of things misconstrued in text messages because of communication, and the way we all talk and all other stuff. So I will get on Facebook. If you're my Facebook friend, saying boom, 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 and I will say what the thing is, and I'll take what the people say back to me. I'll get my replies. Some people call me a gaslighter. I think that's funny. Gaslight. What you mad for? So I'm supposed to be mad. I'm not going to do that. But, so the reality of it is we do this so we can see each other. So I like the comments. So, and the reason being is, if you have something that's, I said something that was incorrect, you can show me. All right. When we participated, my family and our community participated in the Hebrew Israelite summits, which I still encourage Yasharallah to do. Gather yourselves together. O nation I desire. Yeah, gather yourselves. You feel me? Prefer the brotherhood. The point of saying such is to say, I still support Yasharallah coming together at the summits. All right. Just because I'm on the island of Patmos don't mean that you all can't. Okay. The point of saying such is to say, one of the things that we had at the Hebrew Israelite summits were meetings about doctrines. And sometimes the meetings were too short. You can't have a just 1 hour conversation about, a situation and it gets fixed. You got to constantly talk about it. You got to constantly show the different points and perspectives, and you have to do compare and contrast and all of that good stuff. So you can actually see the earth is not a sphere. So we're going to look at this flat earth. I'm just going to use that one phrase. Okay. So these are primarily, if everybody remembers, the images that we come up with whenever we look at this subject of the flat earth. All right. So, and again, this is just to help answer the questions that a couple brews had, and to even accept the insults, that, that the brothers and sisters had, that just didn't agree. Okay. But it's also to help edify. All right. So let's go back to my Facebook post. That's what we primarily look at. All right. Let me see. All right. Oh, what did they say? Is this where they start talking about we not Jews or something like that? All right. So this is another one. They start talking about we're not. All right. All right. Hebrew astronomy 101. All right. The earth. Okay, now here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So let's go ahead and hit this brother up. All right. I did show him love on this comment. And I'm not a just throwing jabs at people comments and being rude and stuff like that. Nah, I'm really trying to build. You feel me? I'm not afraid to sit toe to toe with your elder and actually talk about things that's going to help edify us. All right. But it makes sense when we can do it in a way to where everybody's actually learning. All right. So here go our brother's comment. He pulled this up, and we're gonna look at this. And I'm so glad that we did. So this is the brother Yamir Yasharallah. All right. So Yamir Yasharallah. Let's see what his picture is. So his picture is the word firmament. All right. Let me see. So firmament, i.e., vault of heaven, understood as a solid dome. So we have the word firmament and solid dome highlighted. Okay. I don't know where this reference is coming from. It's obviously it's a Hebrew concordance. All right. All right. Rakoyai. All right. Rakoyai. All right. So let's look at firmament real quick. All right. So let's come over here. Now, this is what people primarily have. I don't know why people think it's the firmament is a solid dome. We can't take every English word for face value. We have to take these phrases back to the Bible, back to Hebrew, and which is why I like to use the concordance. And one of my favorite websites is blueletterbible.com. So we're going to see real quick. All right, let's come over here. All right. Blue Letter Bible Firmament, KJV. All right, so that's as simple as you can do it, right? And then you come here to this website. Now, I do believe a good teacher should want his students to be good teachers, which I'm not saying I'm a teacher. What I am saying is, I'm grateful that my teachers, wanted me to be a good student, and a good teacher. So, here's a verse that we have right here, Genesis chapter 1 verse 6. Genesis chapter 1 verse 6. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters. Let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the light from the day, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to light the light above the earth." And it was so. And God set them in the firmament of heaven and gave light upon the earth. And God said, "Let the waters be the moving creatures that has life, the living creatures, so like that." And God said, "Let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creatures that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of the heavens." All right, and then we have Psalms 19. All right, and it says, to the chief musician, the Psalm of David. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. So we can go down and find all the different places where the word firmament is, but let's stop right here at Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 22. Now, this is a verse that's used because some people believe that the firmament is a solid item. All right, that the firmament is not pass throughable. Let's say that. So imagine if you have let's do this right here. All right, yesterday we learned that the earth is a sphere by definition. All right, let's say if you have a bowling ball through glass. Let's just hypothetically, if you have bowling ball, and I just pulled this up just to see if we can get a visual. All right, if you have a crystal, right, firmament, or if you have a solid glass firmament, if anything passes through it, what's going to happen? It's going to break, it's going to shatter, it's going to rupture. Some people believe that the atmosphere or the firmament is the representation of this broken windshield or this shattered or dented windshield, and that the bowling ball is an example or representation of, say, something like a space debris. All right, what would be space debris? Debris is something that you like, just small, just trash. You know what I'm saying? Just something that's just here and it's gone. You know, that's debris. That's the leftover stuff. Sometimes debris can be big, like 2x4s or parts of a house. Sometimes debris can be small, like a plastic or trash bag blowing down the street, or like a leaf. Debris can come in, it's just the refuse. All right. So think about space debris, right? So imagine space debris coming into Earth, and in the event of it reaching the firmament, all right, or the atmosphere, it hits a glass roof and it shatters and it comes down into the earth. And we see this fire small light and it's shooting really fast through the sky and it lands somewhere in Peru, and or it lands somewhere in Russia, or it lands somewhere in Indiana. And the reason why I use these examples is because this actually happens. Space debris, asteroids, meteorites, small space debris. We haven't been hit by any major asteroids throughout the hour. The script says that the world will endure, the earth will endure forever. So it will be changed, but it will endure forever. Uh, so imagine that. So we actually do have examples of small asteroids, space debris, we'll call it, that come through the Earth's atmosphere. And this isn't the effect you get. You don't get a bashed glass atmosphere because something from space actually fell into our you know troposphere. All right, so the troposphere, why did I say troposphere? Because it's another way of saying the layer of earth that's in the firmament. So we're going to learn about the firmament real quick. And again, I'm really glad that brother presented that, okay, because it has to be observed, it has to be looked at, it has to be. I can't just sit there and say, it don't say solid dome. It does. Look right there. The word is solid dome. Now, I don't know what book he's reading from, but what I like to do is go to the Bible. And then from the Bible, what we'll do is we'll look at the scriptures from there. All right. So let's go back to it. Now, remember, we started with a bunch of scriptures with firmament. Now, we're going to stop at Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 22. We're going to use two primary scriptures right now. All right. So the first one we're going to use, let's scroll back up to the top. All right, the first scripture that we're going to use, and I pray everybody can see this. And if you're watching Bible Kushab, please share this out for others to see. It's very important. All right, so I appreciate you. The water, thank you for your time. Let's build. I'm going to make this larger so everybody else can see it. Plus, my head is super huge. I've got a big head. So having my big head right next up to another screen, it's like you can just measure from chin length to the crown. You like, that's like 7 spaces of face that makes up one whole screen. I got a big head. All right, so what we'll do is we'll just make the screen a little bit larger and make that screen a little bit smaller. All right, and let's see. All right, Thawada for your comments. Yahweh Shmarlatan, appreciate you. All right, so let's look at it real quick. Genesis chapter 1, verse 6, it says, Waya Amar, and Yahweh said, well, Allahayim said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. So from over here, we're going to go to our handy dandy interlinear. Go to your tool section if you use Blue Letter Bible, which I suggest you do. Go to your tool section, hit the interlinear button. When you hit the interlinear button, your screen is going to change like ours just did, and it's going to open up to now the same verse is right here, Genesis chapter 1, verse 6. All right, Wa Ya Amara. Wa Ya Amar. It's actually 3 parts. Wa is by itself, means and. Ya is he, representing Yahweh. And Amar means the speaker say. All right. Allahayim. Allahayim. See? Wa Ya Amar Allahayim. And he said the powers, or and the powers said. All right. Yahaya. All right. So let's read down. All right. Said, let there be firmament. Now, the word that we have here for firmament, all right, now we're going to do a few things. We're going to take the word firmament, we're going to put it on a separate Google search, okay, just so we'll be able to have something to look at as a visual, okay? So, but what we're going to do is take the word firmament, and we're going to look at it, Hebrew 7,549th word, rakoyah, rakoyai, for firmament, all right? So let's go deeper into it. All right, and this is just surface deep. This is just, we're just scratching the surface. All right, Rakoyai. All right, now I know down here it says require. And there's some brothers. I remember some brothers when they was getting a drift of speaking Hebrew, they would mix up the characters and the Paleo Hebrew and the modern Hebrew pronunciation. I was like, that's cool. That's cool. Let's try it like this. Require, 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 require. All right. So let's look at the word require. All right. Root word etymology. All right, root word etymology for firmament, it says spread, to stamp, to stretch, to beat, to make broad. To beat, stamp, beat out, spread out, stretch, to stamp, beat out. One who beats out, participle. All right, so this is the root word etymology. We're going to scroll down just a little bit more. All right, to spread out by beating. All right, simply to spread out. All right, God, the earth. So, okay, that's a good example. All right, so we're going to go to the actual word that's used in that verse there now. Okay, so this is the word that's used in the verse. We looked at the root word etymology. It says extended surface, solid, expanse, firmament, expanse, flat as base, support, firmament, a vault of heaven, supporting waters above, considered by the Hebrews as solid and supporting waters above. Let's read down some more. We're going to open up our Gesenius. Now, for those of you who don't know, Gesenius was a very intelligent, and the word escapes me at the time, but he had a passion for language. And I did the same thing yesterday. The word escaped me at that moment too. But Gesenius had a passion for language. So, of course, he did the Hebrew Chaldean, all right, which we are Chaldees. My father was a Chaldean ready to perish. I believe Deuteronomy 24, 26. My father was a Chaldean ready to perish. So Gesenius excellently broke down our language to show us what does it mean. All right, so let's read on. All right, and we're going to find out more information here. So Gesenius Rakoyai, all right, the firmament of the heavens spread out like a hemisphere above the earth. Like a splendid and pellucid sapphire, to where the stars were supposed to be fixed, and over which the Hebrews believed was the heavenly ocean. Compare, however, with, and then it tells us to go to Genesis chapter 2, verse 6. All right. All right. So now we're going to go to our, and I hope everybody is keeping along with this. So a few things that I got out of that. One, let's go back to it real quick. A few things that I got out of that is that even right there, the word is solid. There's a phrase for solid there, and I think that that's amazing. There's a word for solid there. All right, but I'm not convinced that it's the solid that we may say it's glass solid. All right, I'm not convinced about that. Okay, but I know that it's there, which means I have to keep studying. Now, here's the double down on anybody that here's a double down, all right, on anybody that believes that the firmament is a solid, actual, a solid substance to where it can't be passable through. You have Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 22. Let's read it together. And the likeness of the firmament, the rakoyai, all right, upon the heads of the living creature was as the color of terrible crystal stretched forth over their heads above. Well, that would be more like a halo, and not so much the firmament of the earth, So I've seen that scripture try to be used, for flat earth theory. I've seen that scripture try to be used for flat earth theory, but it didn't connect for me. And I think the reason it didn't connect, I was like, it has to fit in the same, conversational context, and for me, it doesn't, for me, it just doesn't. All right. So, this is what we're looking at. And then again, it's not a battle of, it's just to show what did the Hebrew perspective say, and what does today modern art say? When you go on Google, what are you going to get when you look up globe or flat earth, and you get these flat earth, and people, let me say this too. A lot of people believe that the word NASA means deceive. It does not. The word NASA in English and in Hebrew does not mean deceive. That's Nasha, 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 not Nasa, Nasa, not Nasa. So it's two different words for Nasha and Nasa. So please don't let people tell you that the word NASA means deceive. So NASA ain't gonna never tell you the truth. It's right there in their name, brother. You don't speak. You have to step your Hebrew up in order so you can understand it better. All right. So we're gonna do a few things. I'm gonna bring this to light real quick. All right, and I'm not gonna do that one just yet. Not just yet. All right. But let's see. All right. Let's see. So it says this is just a basic Wikipedia search. Anybody can do this, and we know we'll share the link and all that good stuff. Right. So all right. So here's the link right here. Booyah. All right. Cut. All right. This article is about the what? This article is about the misconception that medieval scholars believed in a flat earth. For actual flat earth cosmologies, see, and then we can check this out here. See, I like being fair. I don't like it when people actually give me studies and they just give me their opinions and pictures. Like, let's go a little bit more, because ultimately we have to know if the earth is flat or if the earth is a sphere. Why? Because we have to keep the holy convocations. And how can you possibly keep new moon if you don't believe that the earth is a sphere? It's impossible. But what we're going to do is we're going to read on. All right, let's get some more information. All right. All right. Earth or flat earth error is a modern historical misinterpretation that European scholars and educated people during the Mid Ages believed the earth to be flat. The earliest clear, excuse me, sorry about that. I apologize. The earliest clear documentation of the idea of the spherical earth comes from ancient Greece, 5th century BCE. The belief was widespread in the Greek world. I don't know why my mouse keeps doing that. I apologize. I'm gonna stop using my mouth. Was widespread in the Greek world when, and I don't know how to say his name yet. Eratosthenes, Eratosthenes calculated the circumference of the Earth around what's that, 240 BC. This knowledge spread with Greek influence, such as that during the early Middle Ages, and at 600 to 1000 AD, most European and Middle Eastern scholars supposed Earth's circumference. I don't know what this word is. Circumference. Wow, I feel like that word connects to circumference or roundness or something like that. But let's see. I got to see how to pronounce. Did you know you can do this? If you don't know how to pronounce a word, you can take that same word, put it in Google search, and then you can say how to pronounce. See? How to pronounce. And then watch this. Really cool. Did you know that? And it'll show you the breakdown. See? Seth, Riss, Eitz. I don't know. Let's listen to it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go through all that. Let's see.
Sphericity.
Sphericity. Sphericity. Once you hear it, you're like, okay. Sphericity. Ah. Okay, so now we're going to take sphericity and we're going to get sphericity etymology. Okay. Sphericity is the measurement of how spherical an object is. It can be used in engineering, geology, and statistics. Engineering sphericity is used in engineering to control the shape of objects that are spherical or partially spherical. All right, so that's excellent. Let's look at an example of some partially spherical and spherical items. Uh, let's look at let's go to our astronomy now. Let's look at some spherical items. Okay, we're going to share this page real quick and I hope everybody can see it. Now, be very patient if you can. These are All right, looks like we're back on. All right, Salakla, Tawada, thank you for everybody being patient. We glitched out for a second, you know. So, sphericity, sphericity. Okay, so let's get back to it. Sphericity. All right. Okay, there we go. We back up. We got our Nagayana. We got our sound back up. All right, we're good. Just making sure we don't blink out again. Okay, so let's get back to it. Back like we never left. All praise the Most High. So we're going to start our screen share again. So sphericity is the word that we were looking at, and sphericity in like we were reading astronomy. What else? Engineering. All right, is how to measure. Your tabs are automatically saved. Access. Great, thanks. Sphericity is to measure the roundness of something, right? So let's get back to this. All right, sphericity. Now, looking at the shape of a sphere, we're going to go back to our books. All right, there we go. There we have it. There we have it. So I said, let's look at some spherical items. Okay, let's look at some spherical items. So here are some examples of some spheres. This is called a artillery sphere. And what this does is it shows you the tilt and the axis of the actual planet. So what people are doing, this is what they're doing. They're only going off of this this top part. See, this top part is what's called the hemisphere. All right, this is the northern hemisphere, and then this is the southern region of the hemisphere, right? And since it's like this, a lot of people are only perceiving the Earth to be one-dimensional because we live just on, you know, the northern hemisphere primarily. But if you travel, which a lot of you, I believe the Most High will make you to, and thank you, Father, for allowing me to, you'll be able to see that the world looks so much different in different parts of the world. You know, you'll see different constellations. You know, if you're further east, then you'll see if you're in the northern hemisphere. The sky does not look the same. Okay, so here are some items that are spherical. All right, now this will be a representation of the sun and the rays that the sun is shooting towards the moon. Now the moon will be right here in the middle, and this is the rotation of the moon. This is the rotation of the earth. And as you can see, all of these items are spherical in nature. And the reason being is because if they're out of order, then that would be just completely crazy. Can you imagine a flat earth, but the sun is round, the moon is round? That would be completely out of order. So this book, this writing is the first Encyclopedia Britannica. It's called Encyclopedia Britannica edition, the first. And within this, you do not see any flat earth images. You only see those whenever you're doing Google searches. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, look, somebody on Google said the earth was flat. It don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. All right. If you can pull up, if I can do something just as easy as pull up an image like this, you know, and look at this. Look at that. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. All right. Now they're actually mocking, which I think this is funny. All right. They reject the concept of the earth being a sphere, right? But accept the concept of the earth being on a turtle's back and being flat with an ice wall around it. That's hilarious. I like that, man. I'm gonna have to save that. That's pretty funny. That's pretty really funny, actually. All right. So let's go back to it. All right. So this book again is called Encyclopedia Britannica Edition, the first. Okay. Let's find a good couple plates. Okay. All right. So if we see this again, this is figure 2. And figure 2 is once again showing you know, the projection of the sun's rays on the moon and the effects of the moon. You know, why does the moon look like she's changing phases when she's not? She's only going around, and while she's going around, she's receiving less and less light of the sun. So this page specifically is teaching us about the direction of the sun's rays. Okay, here we go. We have A and we have B. All right, see, we have A, we have B, and we have O. All all right, as our example lines. And this will be the horizon. If you can see that right there, I hope everybody can see that, right? So there we go. So this is the horizon, okay? Now from the horizon, we can see which direction the moon would actually catch her rays from if we just come down to this plate, okay? So let's do a couple more. All right, let's do a couple more. All right. So we're dealing with all spherical shapes. All right, this is plate number, what's this, 40? Plate number 40. Now, this is what's beautiful because it actually shows you. Now, I know it looks like a lot of squiggles and scrabbles, but this even shows you the sacred geometry of Yahweh. I've seen Elder Karash wear this pendant, and I was like, I know that from somewhere. And he was like, it's sacred geometry. And I was like, I know that from somewhere, Zaquan Karash. So sacred geometry, this is by intelligent design. See all these swirls going around and coming around and coming around. Well, this is the rotation of not only the planets, but also the moon. Look at the figures right here. See, this is Venus, and this is the trail that Venus takes as she swirls and she goes all the way around. And here's the dimensions. See, here's the dates. By October 20th, we'll know she's over here at 30 degrees. That's beautiful. All right. So in a book that anybody could get, all right, which is another book that proves that the earth is not only a sphere, but it proves the earth is not flat. Benjamin Banneker, Farmer's Almanac. I'm sorry to bust everybody's bubble, but I love doing it whenever it's going to help everybody. Benjamin Banneker was an Israelite genius. He was a Hebrew genius. Look at this Negro on the front of the original first Farmer's Almanac. His name was Benjamin Banneker. And not only did he teach us that the earth was a sphere, he also taught us that the earth itself goes into what's called inferior conjunction with the moon. And when that happens, that's how we get into a state of not being able to see the moon anymore. Okay. That's called inferior conjunction, also known as new moon. Okay. So let me bring that back over here. I want you all to get a taste of this, man. So, like the Most High said, he said, taste and see that I am good. All right. Once you see it and it makes sense to you, it can't not make sense to you. All right. So going back and forth with brothers and sisters on Facebook is one thing. In real life is one thing. Being actually able to show and prove the details and where the information came from is a different thing. All right. So we don't see in our geocentric system of the celestial spheres, all right, we don't see any half spheres. We don't. Now, is there a such thing as a half sphere? Yes, it's called a hemisphere, but that's only because of the top section of it is separated from the bottom section, or the left section of it is separated from the right section. All right. So we're going to start right here if everybody can see this page. Okay. So this book is literally called Astronomy. Wait, let me do this. Now, watch this. Astronomy and the science in which treats of the nature and properties of the heavenly bodies. You got this is so it's not too hard to read, but sometimes you can get a little bit thrown off. And the reason being is because it has that 1611 King James feel with the S's being replaced with F's. All right. Or sometimes the U's being replaced with V's. All right. So let's go to a couple subjects real quick. I really feel like I want to go to page 4, chapter 14 or chapter 7. Let's see if we can find it. We're just going to kind of scroll through together. All right. And as we scroll through, we'll look for some specific information. So we're on page 527. All right. And not only do we learn about the planets with their swiftness, and we also learn about their phases. All right. So we learn about their shapes. Okay. If you can see this page right here, all right, I would be very happy. All right. Put a 7 in the room if you can see this, if you don't mind. We're going to start reading. It says, this planet appears. Wait. Hold on, wait. Okay. This planet appears to us with all various phases of the moon when viewed at different times by a good telescope, excepting only that he never appears quite full because he is enlightened, excuse me, because his enlightened side is never turned directly towards us. But when he is so near, see it's spelled F-O, so near the sun as to be lost to our sight in its beams, and as his enlightened side is always towards the sun. So this is perfectly not only explaining a sphere, but it's explaining to us that the planets rotate in different directions, and sometimes you can't see the moon. Sometimes you can't see the dark side of the moon. Sometimes you can't even see the light side of the moon. She can be obstructed by a small wall. She can be obstructed by a cloud, but this doesn't mean that she's not there. Whenever you're thinking about the moon, you always have to think about she's never absent. Now, she might be not visible because you can have a cloud, such as we said earlier, or you can have a shadow, and that shadow can be produced from the earth. Okay. The phenomenon of the heavens and the years in different parts of the solar system. All right. So vastly, and we're in this is chapter 4. Let's see. Let's try to find, let's see what chapter 7 starts with. Is this the physical cause and motions of planets and the eccentricities of their orbits, the times in which of the action of gravity alone would bring them to the sun. And this is something else that really catches my attention. You genuinely, because of this flat earth standard, you have don't believe in gravity. How do you not believe in gravity? When somebody tells me gravity doesn't exist, my first thought to them is go jump off a building and tell me if gravity exists or not. Jump off of a very high structure and tell me, how are you going to do? Tell me if you're going to go up or not. And I literally had, these conversations with people, and it's wonderful because it's stirring. It makes you really think. But at the same time, it's kind of weird because it's like, how do you think like that when you have all the information in front of you? So what we're doing right now is we're presenting the different chapters. Now, if you are a person who likes math and you like numbers, you should really be in astronomy. You really should be. All right. Of the precision of the equinoxes. All right. If you don't know what the equinoxes are, it's the time frames. We have everything that's in this book proves that the earth is not flat. All right. So we have the time frames when the sun is actually on the opposite side of the moon. And when she's there, she can't be seen because she's obstructed. And she's obstructed by what? She's obstructed by the shadow of the earth. For those who believe that the earth and the moon and the sun are all operating together in sync because the sun and the moon are inside of the earth, well, we also have a book to disprove that. All right. Now, remember, these books go back to the early 5th century when the Israelites were still us, popping, jumping. We were still ruling before the 5th century. All right. So there's some people who don't understand, which I'm still learning this too. All right. There's some people who don't understand that the Julian calendar, all right, or so-called Gregorian calendar, did not affect the Israelites keeping leap year. I know that might sound strange. It might seem strange, but when you look at the evidence, it's all right here. All right. I don't know how to further explain this to anybody outside from just showing them. Okay. Phenomenon of the harvest moon explained by the common globe. If you don't know what the common globe is another word for the celestial sphere, which we found in Hebrew is aratzah. What does the word aratzah mean? It means earth. We haven't found anything, not one bit, not one shred of evidence in any astronomical books from the Hebrew perspective to show that the earth is flat. Now we're slowly scrolling through again Encyclopedia Britannica edition the first. And the reason why we are is so you can come and get this information for yourself. You can't be lied to if you can read. And all you need is the right reading information. The Bible is first. Never put the OASP in the mix. It's always going to confuse you because the OASP says the opposite of what the Bible says in a lot of cases. All right, and then tries to act like it came before the Bible. I want somebody to screenshot this page real quick. If you can screenshot this page, what you're going to have is you're going to have a beautiful calendar of the Jewish year and the Ethiopian year, the Jewish year and the Egyptian year. If you can screenshot that calendar right there, you'll have the Arabic year and the ancient Grecian years, the calendars, the names of them. And whenever we're doing our studies and brothers is like, oh, we did our calendar, I'm always thinking to myself, all right, cool. Did you line everything up? Did you line everything up with what we knew before, Flavius Josephus? And some people don't. But Josephus actually taught us about the time frame and constellations also. So again, all right, this is Ferguson's Orrery, all right? And you don't see any flat earth models in here. Now, this is not a book just to promote specifically a spherical, concept. This is actually what our forefathers believed. What do you think this lunar phase is right here when you get to section B? What does everybody think that is? When you get to section A, you see that very small curve at the top. You see that very small curve at the bottom. This is waning crescent. This is waxing crescent. Waxing gibbous. All right. All right. All the way till you get to first quarter. All the way get to full. So this is a chart. All right. I don't. You know what I would really prefer? I would really prefer if the same brothers and sisters. No, I'm not. I'm not watching that. We don't do commercials. We bougie around here. Y'all can gone with that. We don't do commercials. I don't know what Bateman Brothers did, but I'm not signed in. That's why. All right. So this is what I would actually prefer is for brothers that have the same statements to ask questions because the answers are all right here. But if you're just gonna keep saying to me, nuh-uh, nuh-uh, then the only thing I can do is just continue to guide you to the information. So this is the Encyclopedia Britannica edition, the first, and I know that within this book, which I don't remember if it was this book or if it was I think it is this book, but I'm gonna have to look at it in my actual tangible book. But and we're gonna actually we'll go to the beginning of it too. All right. So what I hope to do is to say, hey, listen, this information is right here. It's been presented in front of you. Here's the proof, because this is what our elders did. Our elders went to the libraries. Some of our elders was hitting licks on libraries. That's when I learned to start hitting licks on libraries, which I'm not encouraging anybody to do. But that's when I started learning to hit licks on libraries. We wanted to get that information. All right. So here's the information right here. I'm going to start with this page right here. And we're going to put it over here in this chat. Okay. And when you're ready, I want you to go and look at it for yourself. When you're ready, I want you to go and look at it. Because what you're going to find out is, oh, man, wow, this has been here this whole time. Yeah, absolutely. But this is what's been fed to us. Okay. There's a brother named OG Genesis Loopy Lang that I have engagement and appointment with. All right. I look forward to stirring up and sparking more questions and conversations about this. Here's our points, our reference points. Flavius Josephus, Antiquities of the Jews. His reference on the menorah and the planets. All right. Also, the word decani is in there, which means the smaller ministers of the planets. Like the moons have moons. And they're spheres. None of them are triangles and squares and circles and half circles. So let's stop lying. It's going to be new moon in about 2 days. About 1 day is going to be new moon. And that's going to come into play with the earth, moon, and sun all lining up. Okay. And we have to know that so we can know how and when to keep the Kadash new moon. Okay. So with that being said, that's gonna be it for this video. I got a phone call that I gotta make because there's some brothers that's been requesting, ministry, and that's what it's all about. All right. So yeah, bro, come here. If anybody has questions, just hit me up. I love to go through the support. I love to go through the books with you. I'd love to go through the books with you. But you got to study to show yourself approved. You got to see it for yourself. All right. Shalom Lakah, Anyab Lakam, Kwam Yasharala. Hallelujah.
You said what? Nah, we ain't never had a friend like me. You know, if it happen, it happen. If it don't, it don't. You know, ain't no big deal.
You ain't never had a friend like me.
Need that. Oh yeah, hallelujah, man. You know, we made sure we
You ain't never had a friend like me.
Nah, man, this shit is fire.
Cause you ain't never had a friend like me.
Come on.
Believe
I
that.
see you when you doing wrong, I tell you cause I love you. Kwam Yasha Allah NYMG praying for you. Taking pictures with the Akim double honors to the elders. Saluting all the short legs, Shalom baby bruise. If he hooves all of you to come and join his unity. If you ain't about that Zephaniah 2, then you ain't true to me. I kiss the beards of my brothers, let them know I love them. Combat ready, men of war, knocking at your front door. Esau, I love to be the bearer of your bad news. E37, AOIRI, real Jews. Coming to a place to gather where all matters are discussed. Cause in the law of love there is no sin in us. And if it is, you can charge me for keeping the Torah. Boy, oh boy, I tell you, I'll straight go to war for you. Leviticus 19, the scripture that I stand on. No tail bearing, baby brute, take your ass home. If you can't handle instructions, then this ain't for you. It's a nation organized by Hamashiach. See, one shot is all they got. One shot is all we need to proceed in brotherhood and conquer them as Jacob sees. The rightful owners of the whole planet coming together at every summit, forming like Voltron from every corner of Babylon and locked in like Optimus Prime. Don't pay me no attention, I'm just celebrating my youth in this rhyme. To see that Edom swallow Jacob's rise, it's so exciting when you left from the summit. That's number 9, and 9 years ago I couldn't even fathom this happening. Now my hands is hella callous from dapping. Shalom, Ak. May Yahweh keep you safe on your passage and place all your enemies in caskets. Kwam Yasha, Allah got a lot of blessings in store. All you gotta do is keep the Torah, go forward. How can I